Bollywood dance has long made its strides into American communities. With it comes the rise of many dance studios. One dance studio in particular is the fastest growing, with branches in Toronto, Southern California, Bay Area, and Chicago. RRB Dance Studios was founded by the winner of Dance India Dance, Rajat Rocky Bhatta, and one of the top 20, Tosha Patel. I sat down with Tosha to discuss what goes into making RRB the success it is today. First of all, how did you get into your industry of dance?
Okay, so I've been dancing since I was like 5, and I literally, since I saw my mom dance, I've always been into dancing. I started off like with ballet, jazz, and all of that, and then I didn't really like it as much because I was like more prone to like the Indian crowd,
Right.
the Indian people and like friends, and it was easier to make friends with Indians and the culture, especially with your parents.
Yes.
My mom put me into this company called Arya in New Jersey.
Okay.
And then ever since then, I've just been dancing my whole life. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's literally in my blood and in my mom's blood too.
Okay, so I know that Bollywood dancing is like a very specific genre of dance, and it's becoming increasingly popular in America. So have you found that it's been like a lot more equal in the sense of like the number of men and women that participate in it, or do you see like a divide?
I think growing up, there has definitely been a divide, especially for girls, I would say. Usually you tend to see more girls, but at the same time, parents are more conservative with girls and trying to put them in dance class.
Right.
So I think it's both, but at the same time, I feel like guys are also least likely to join a dance class because they don't feel like they see other guys doing it, or it's a girl art form and girls only dance. But I think nowadays the trends are changing.
Right.
And I think I see a lot more like boys and girls, especially with RRB now. We have an equal amount of girls and boys. So yeah.
So how did you get into starting your own dance studio? Did you have experience working for someone else first, and then you decided to branch out, or did you just want to do it?
So I've been dancing my whole life, and teaching. I've taught kids like in Manders at my own company. Like I've literally been teaching in like New York, in college, all throughout. So I have been teaching, and I've been doing all that. So I think that's what led me to fulfill this as our passion. Both me and Rajat, like ever since we were little, we always wanted our own studio, our own dance company. So doing this together is definitely a dream come true. Yeah.
That's so great. So I know you guys, your dance company has grown a lot in the past couple years. You started it how many years ago?
We started in 2016 in September.
So only 4 years ago.
We only started one location. So that location was in Chino, and then not that long ago actually. And then we expanded into Chicago, Bay Area, Toronto, and we're just trying to take this thing nationwide.
That's so great.
Yeah.
So you were literally fastest growing dance company I've ever seen. What would you say has like led to that success? Like, why do you think it's becoming so popular so quickly?
I think it's the drive and the motivation that we have, and like the drive to just keep pushing ourselves. I think we don't settle down for just one thing.
Right.
We yes, we have like one location, but we just want to like do it all. So I think it's the passion that we have for dance that we want to like make sure we pass on this message to all the kids, and just pass on what we learned and what we didn't have growing up, basically to provide that for all the kids.
Yes.
So yeah.
Okay. So is dance what you studied in, or are studying in college?
No. It's nowhere near what I'm studying in college. I was actually a pre-med major. I studied biology in Boston University, and then after that I was like, hey mom, dad, I don't think I can do this, but I'm actually still in health, so I'm doing health informatics and stuff. Obviously, coming from a Desi household, you need to have some kind of side. But this is our passion project, so we do love it. And I mean, it's becoming a full-time thing now. It's growing, and it's great. So
do you think your passion for dance is always shown through no matter what you've been doing?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Always.
Okay. So what is one thing you didn't expect to start doing when you had the business, rather than just being a choreographer and teaching the kids, but like something that you had to do for like the business itself, for its livelihood, that you didn't realize you were going to have to do going into it?
Oh, there was a lot of obstacles with like growing a business, of course. The admin side. Yes, we love teaching, we love dance, but just the business side of it is very not. It's like basically like you're a dancerpreneur.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. We came up with this term. So you're basically a dancer and you're a business, like trying to combine it all. So I think it's just like identifying all the business stuff and how to like get your way through and stuff. It's challenging. Yeah.
So I know that dance is your passion, but maybe running a studio isn't like as dreamy as it can seem like at some times.
Yeah.
So has there ever been a point where you're just like, I just want to go back to just dancing for myself, or just teaching kids at the Mandir instead of having a big full-fledged dance company?
No.
Oh, okay.
So there's just this gratifying moment when you see the kids and when you have your own place and you're just teaching, and then you see the outcome and the results in these kids that keep you going. So you forget about the 10% that's negative. So all the negative always gets blocked out when you like go into class, you see those kids. Don't get me wrong, there are some glitches here and there, but at the same time, like we just enjoy it so much, and like seeing the kids just makes us like happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've been to a couple of your shows, and I really liked your mentality of growing the business along with your students.
Yeah.
And so do you have any examples of how like you saw a person grow and then they ended up being like a better dancer overall, and maybe even continue working for you in the future?
Yeah, so that's like what our program is all about. We like develop kids' personalities. We teach them about culture, confidence, community. Like that's our tagline of our company. And I think those values are instilled with them, and we want them to grow up and to become these great humans and great people in life. And just an example, like one of our students, just like she graduated, she's a senior now, actually first year in college, and now she's teaching and she's helping us out. So it's just these values that we carry on forward that can also help them not only in dance and not only in teaching dance, but like in other life skills like that they might pursue later on.
So you started RRB with Raja
3.5, yeah.
Did anyone think you were crazy for starting a business in the middle of college?
Everyone. All my friends, even my parents, they were very, you're doubtful, right? You're very young, you don't know what you're getting into, and even from his family, it's always that hardship of starting something, and it takes a while to get it started, and especially in the beginning, right? It's always tough to like find the resources, the contacts, and just to get it off the ground. But I think with like I said, with determination and passion, like anything is like unstoppable. So I think that's definitely what drove us.
That's really great.
Yeah.
So I know that you come from an Indian background, and so in Indian culture, we kind of have the idea that the female, they're not the breadwinners of the family. So do you feel like you've broken that mold and you want to continue pursuing a career where you're in an executive position?
Yes, for sure. I think all women, I think even now, like the trends, like a lot of like companies and businesses, like they have so many females like running and being CEOs, and I think that's such a good trend for all women. And I think like even for Indian families, I think the mindset is also changing. I think even my parents, like they're super supportive of this and what I do now. In the beginning, I think any parent is skeptical, right? Because they don't realize what are you gonna do? How are you gonna do it? Like all these why, what, when questions. But then when you actually do it and you actually like they see the passion. Even my parents, like they came to Jashan this past in April, and they were just so blown away. And that was like the most happiest moment for me.
Do you think it's easier running this business having a partner?
Yes, 110%. Oh gosh, especially with like decision making, and just you need that person to give an opinion, even though you know what to do and you need like you got it, but that just like solidifying yes or no, like it comes from that second opinion. And I think having that second opinion anywhere in life, like let's say in school, right, you need your parent to tell you yes or no, or your friend to guide you. So I think having him is like it's the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the expansion that you had is really impressive, not because it's just concentrated in California, but it's all over America. So how do you go about like having that like location where you can't be there all the time?
Oh yes.
And like how does that play out? Because I've always been wondering myself, how do you have a Chicago branch and a Bay Area branch when you're not there all the time?
It's hard. It's definitely hard, but at the same time, I think we do have processes in place. Of course, we have directors, so we have like weekly director meetings. We'll like fly in. We'll have directors, like we'll all meet together. We'll go on a retreat, or all our teachers will fly in. We'll meet. But at the same time, we're always involved, and they're always we're literally always helping them. Like every like phone call, the meetings. So actually, the directors are so good that even if me and Rajat don't even go, like everything would be fine.
So could you break down how like the hierarchy system, I guess, is for like the people that work, and like because it seems like it's a lot more like self-running, which is really, really great for a business.
So with us and our company, what makes us really different is we don't actually have a hierarchy system. Like everyone has like such a huge part in our company. Like me and Rajat are directors. We don't even call ourselves a CEO. When you called me that, I was like, oh, okay. So we're actually the directors. And all our teachers, like they're also just directors of choreography. Like same with like Chicago, Bay Area, Toronto. Like they're their own directors. So if they want to teach something, like everything's actually collectively on a universal curriculum that we created.
Oh, okay.
But in terms of like choreography, they can always add in their elements. Admin team, I mean, everyone has their own field.
Right.
So so we have like the CEOs that you called it, then like the choreographers, the directors, and then like our admin team, then we have a marketing team, and then we have like our production team and our lighting team for all our shows. So
okay. I noticed that at one of your shows, Rajat mentioned how you guys are very cost effective when it comes to your pricing for the students that come. So could you break that down? Because I know recently dance companies have been really jacking up their prices, and more people are less inclined to go and pursue arts just because it's becoming more expensive.
Yeah, we really wanted to make this a cost effective program, especially for kids that, you know, can't really afford that much of income into a side activity, and through that we have a membership model. So you come in, you take as many classes as you want, 2 to 3 classes. Usually most students take 2 to 3, and we have different styles that are offered, like Bolly Hop, Bollywood, contemporary, Kathak, Bharatanatyam, like Bolly Hop. So many different styles that are offered. Come in, you take as many, and it's just $109 a month.
Oh, okay.
So it's super, super cost affordable, and a lot of parents actually love the membership model.
Right.
And at the same time, it works out for us because as like the owners or the directors or the creative directors, we love seeing kids grow in different styles.
Right.
It's just so important for them to grow as dancers. And if me and him wanted a dance company, I think this is what it would be.
Okay.
Growing up. Just being able to learn different styles. Like usually I had to go to a Kathak teacher, then I would go to a Bollywood company, and then I would have to go to a hip hop company. That's what I did growing up. So now if it's like one stop for everything, why not for $109 a month? Yeah.
So the membership, it's like a monthly model, right? They pay.
Yeah, so it's a monthly model, but we have like 3 different options. So 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Depends on how much they commit to.
So then having that one-stop shop and then like the membership model, do you think that's contributed to the longevity of your company, like getting students to continue returning?
Yes, I think so, Yeah, and I think it definitely helps because with the membership model, like usually like it's just that first initial step, right? Once they're in, like we have long-term clients for like 10 years, like 5 to 10 years, right? So I think it's definitely a good way to get them.
Okay. And I liked the way that you guys have been approaching advertising by involving your students. I've seen a lot of videos that you've made with the students in your classes.
We love it.
Rolling around on Facebook.
I know.
And I think that's a really unique approach to advertising because it gets the kids involved, it gets them excited. So what's your take on that specifically?
We love it. We love making videos with kids, and I think it's such a good way to market and just just being able to make those videos is like awesome because the kids get an opportunity to be on camera.
Yes.
At the same time, they're dancing, and workshop culture is huge right now with the Desi dance community. I don't know if you've heard, but it's huge. Like workshops are like the newest thing. So just to bring that in for the kids is awesome. I think I would consider our academy very modern.
Yes.
With everything in general, like you mentioned, like advertising, the way we approach dance, everything. It's very, very modern.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. So this is just like a really great like business model. But then I know that dance companies that have been started earlier, especially in like very in case of Bollywood and very like central South Asian locations. So since you've been expanding out, how do you maintain that personal touch that every other like dance academy has, where they're only centered in one location? And then how do you find yourself competing with them?
In terms of keeping personal touch, our teachers, I think, are so good with building community within their classes. Even with me and him, like every location in SoCal, or even if they have different, like our teachers, like just building that community vibe, like we all know it. And if all of us are doing it collectively, it'll just happen masses. Right. So I think that's one thing that we have, like our foundation, our team is so strong that it just spreads. But yeah.
I know that a lot of people especially in terms of dance, kind of have like the one that they've been going to since they were little.
Yeah.
And so how have you seen like I guess I would call it the turnover rate. Like, how have you seen a lot of people like abandoning the typical traditional style of just sticking with one dance academy and like switching over to you, where you offer a lot more different styles of dance?
We've definitely seen that switch. And I think it's just the mindset amongst the parents and the kids themselves wanting to learn more.
Right.
Especially if you're passionate, right? Like if you're a passionate dancer, you want to do more than one style, and you want to like be versatile.
Right.
So as a company, we love when kids come and just end up enjoying it. I think that's what it is. When they first come in, they're always hesitant, but they love it. Great. I think the vibes and the way we are as people, like the way we build their personalities and stuff, I think it just it's fun.
And I think one more thing that's really central to like dance companies' longevity is like building a lot of connections within the dance community.
Yeah, exactly.
And like you mentioned, your workshops, you've been bringing a lot of like famous people, famous dancers from India over here. And like, how did you form those connections? How have you maintained those connections? And how are you growing them to continue growing with your dance academy?
Yeah, I mean, we've both been dancing for a while now, and especially like dancing to dance, and all that, and being recognized. Like I was top 20, Rajat won the show. Like we've both been on like a national level platform to develop those connections. It obviously takes time, over time, and after now having such a stable company and being recognized by some of these choreographers, that we have such a stable company, it's hard to maintain, but
you have to put in the work to maintain.
Exactly.
So what would you have said to the Tosha that was making RRB 3.5 years ago? What advice do you have for her? Something that you've learned along the way that you feel like, I wish I knew when I was just starting out?
To not let things get to you. To not to always just keep doing things like for yourself and for the community, and to like the 10% that's negative, always to just block it out. Like originally I used to get so like it used to affect me, if one parent said something, then it affects you.
Right.
But you have to look at the mass. Like as long as everyone's enjoying, then don't worry about that one out of the 500 students,
Right, exactly. I think what was really unique about your dance company is that you have like a very big production aspect. You include a lot of kids in your shows. Yeah. And something that I recently saw is how you're letting students choreograph their own dances for RRB's Got Talent. Yeah. So like, what's the behind the scenes part? Because I know you will know that better than anyone else.
RRB's Got Talent is a show that is so dear to our heart. It's actually run by our nonprofit organization, which is Dance to the Rhythm of Your Heart. So with that nonprofit, we want to create dance therapy programs for the kids, and it's something dear to both our hearts. And I think with this show, organized by it, it's all about the kids. The kids run the lighting. They become the creative producers. They work with me and him. So 5 months prior to the show, we have production meetings. They basically decide on what backdrops the kids will have. Like, they run the whole show. They design the brochures, the ticketing, the venue. Like, everything is all done by the kids. We're just guiding them because I feel like kids should learn a skill of producing a show, right? Yes. Usually we do it behind the scenes, but the kids have to also learn. So they manage the whole show and do all that. So that's that side. And then the show side, so we basically have the kids choreograph their own acts. So you can sign up if you want to compete, and then they spend months just getting together, choreographing, picking themes. We, of course, guide them. We guide them as much as we can, but everything is just their own choreography and basically applying what you did in class, and actually choreographing. Nowadays, I think kids are forgetting that. They go to a party and some of these kids that now know how to choreograph, they're just choreographing songs for parties, which is great. So I think it's definitely a really good platform for these kids,
And I know with any dance company, every single choreographer, they're gonna have their own different style, different touch. So how do you make sure that your choreographers and then in turn your students maintain that like RRB touch but have their own flair, and like how are you fostering that?
So we always tell the kids to develop their own style in class, and we do a lot of foundation training with our students during class that really enhances their own style and brings out their own personality. It's not just about me or Rajat or Shivani or Sirat, like all of our team. It's about you. So we really make sure the kids like bring in their own style. And as you can see, some of the kids like they're learning from me, from Rajat, from Shivani, from Sirat, and they're getting all the 4 different things that they couldn't have ever gotten and adding their own. So they're becoming like way like awesome. So,
Yay, that's great. Okay, and for my last question, what advice do you have for future female business owners that are listening to this?
I would say just follow your dream, follow your passion. Nothing can stop you. RRB was a passion project for me, and I seriously deeply love it. And if you really have something like that you want to do from the bottom of your heart, I would say just go for it. And hard work really pays off. Trust me, it does.